So, good evening everyone. So, we assign na to discuss the topic week 4 to 5. So, first I would explain the article 1156, which is define the obligation as a juridical necessity to give, to do or not to do. So, ang obligation na ginaingon diri is juridical necessity. And it is a civil obligation or one that is enforceable in a court of justice. Means pag giingon nato juridical necessity, ang obligation means is kailangan jud nato siya buhaton kay og dili nato mo sunod pwede ta kasuhan ana in the court of justice. So and to give the specific explanation sa kaning article, no, ang to give, to do, and not to do is mo siya ang tulo ka civil nga obligation sa mga netizens. Kaning to give, for example, kay mao ni siya ang obligation nato to pay our tuition fee sa school, or for example kanang magbayad tag ticket para maka-travel ta. So mao ni siya ang to give. And sa kaning to do is example ani kay the obligation of the parents na to take care of their children. It is positive personal obligation, which means that the obligation here is to render a service. So, sa kaning last nga civil obligation, which is not to do, kay mauni siya ang obligation nato nga not to steal anything sa ubang tao. So, the civil obligation are those that arise from any of these following sources. So, ma-explain na ko ni siya. So, proceed sa elements of obligation. So, the elements of obligation, mo ni siya ang upat ka essential nga requisite para maingon nato nga under siya sa civil obligation. Kaning passive subject, active subject, prestation, and juridical nga tay. So kaning duha ka elements na passive subject and active subject, ang ginamin ani kay ang persons, mga tao involved sa kaning obligation. Ang kaning C and D kay dili ni siya under sa kanang murag person. So ang passive nga subject, no, this is a person who is bound to fulfill of the obligation. And ang kaning active subject na pod is mauni siya ang person who is entitled to demand the fulfillment of obligation. For example, magtatag og example, ako kay na ako'y utang, for example, and I am obliged to pay my income taxes. Like, na ako'y trabaho and I'm obliged to pay my income taxes. So, i-analyze nato kinsa ang naay obligasyon to pay the tax. Di ba ako? And so, makonsider nato nga ako ang ginamin diri nga passive na subject. And kinsa man ang active subject, di ba understandable naman na maggabayad ta o dito ta magbayad og tax sa BIR. So the BIR kay under siya sa Philippine government. So ang active subject karon is ang Philippine government, kay kung baga siya ang naay rights to demand the fulfillment of obligation. So and sa kaning prestation pod is it may consist in giving, doing, or not doing. So sa katong example nako nga I'm obliged to pay my income taxes, ang prestation ato is means kay to pay or to give money kay naam ko'y income taxes. And the last element is kaning obligation and juridical tie, means bind or connect the parties to the obligation. So kinsa man ang gina-connect niya nga parties. So specifically the passive and katong active nga subject. So since ako man ang passive and ang active is si Philippine government, so ma-bind na siya or matay up na siya. So saon niya pag tie up or pag-bind to connect sa kaning juridical tie. So dira na mosulod si law. Naa siya, si law is kay naatay ginatawag na tax code. So ang tax code na ginaingon is kanang law. So wherein kung naa kay work, obligado ka na mubayad og tax sa katuang government. So and next is the sources of obligation. So diri na sources of obligation, under na siya sa Article 1157. Obligation arise from katong law, contracts, quasi-contracts, delicts, and quasi-delicts. So, 5 ni sila kabuok. So, first, kay si law. So, obligation arising from law. So, katong mga obligation nato na nag-arise from law, specifically kay naingon man gud na law na ay ingani nga obligation under the specific nga law. So diri for example kay katong pay taxes, nganong gabayad man taxes kay giingon man sa ato ang batas or what we call law, specifically katong giingon man sa atong batas na kailangan ta mobayad og taxes. So kasulatan to siya. So naa jud siya kaning kasulatan. So means is specifically kato siya nga law is tax code, under siya sa tax code. So next is diri sa contract na obligation arising from contract or kontrata in Tagalog. So a contract is a meeting of minds between two persons whereby one binds himself with respect to the others to give something or to render some service. So dili na kay nako ni siya i-elaborate kay understandable naman kung unsay kaning contract. So next is the quasi-contract. So the third sources of obligation is the quasi-contract. So under the Article 1305, a contract is a meeting these sources of obligation is a retroactive arrangement between two parties who have no previous obligation to one another. It is created by a judge to correct circumstances in which one party acquires something at the expenses of the other. So example aning quasi-contract is nipalit ko sa 7-Eleven, for example, sobra ang sukli na gihatag sa cashier sa ako So naa sa ako kung ibalik ba nako ang katong sobra nga sukli or kaning sa ako na lang. So kay wala may nakasulat nga kontrata or agreement na kailangan to nako siya ibalik. So to analyze the situation, the quasi-contract diri is naka-receive ko sobra nga kwarta, so naka-benefits ko. Pero kato siya nga benefits is unjust or dili makatarungan. And kato siya na expense kay kang store to siya, kay 7-Eleven to siya. So nabuhat or nabuo ang ako ang obligation tungod nabuo akong obligation para ibalik ang sobra nga kwarta tungod sa katong core principles, the quasi-contract. So ang next is delict or the act or omission punishable by law. This is also known as a crime or felony. Unlike other sources of obligation, DELEC produce both criminal and civil liabilities. So, ang civil liabilities is mao ni ang pwede ka niya kasuhan sa korte, and once ang decision sa court is against sa imuha, so makabayad jud ka kaning damages. And ang criminal liabilities pod kay mauni siya ang makulong ka or makulong ang isa ka tao. So, ang mga example aning obligation arising from delicts is kanang mga estafa, murder, rapes, mga yana. And the last sources, the last sources of obligation is the quasi-delict. So, the quasi-delict, also known as tort or culpa. This is an act of omission by one party which causes damage to another party wherein there is no existing contract. So another nga article na akong i-explain is the Article 2180. So under gyapon ni siya sa Civil Code. The following person are reliable for the act of omission of those person whom one is responsible. So, sa kaning article, naani siya ay unong ka paragraph, but sa ato ang same, kay naka-specific lang siya in the paragraph 4, which is the owner and the manager of an establishment or enterprises are responsible for damage caused by their employees in the service of the branches in which the employee is employed or on the occasion of their functions. So another article here is the 1170. So those who in the performance of their obligation are guilty of fraud, negligence, delay, and contravention of the tenor are reliable for damages. So, mauto siya ang ako ang ma-share sa inyo ang discussion. So next, kinsa may next? Abalo or absent?
Si Abalo yata.
Proceed na ta kay nag-record ko.
Next na Dyson. So different hello, good evening. Dagat ang imo na assign sa ko sa delay na ako nag-start, okay. So ways of demand of fulfillment of the obligation. So juridical demand. The creditor goes to court to fix the period within which of the debitor will perform the obligation. So pag maingon tag taog ang juridical demand, it is a peremptory allegation or assertion of a legal right. So kani siya nga fulfillment obligation kay once mo demand ka, you need to kanang dapat na kay emphatic claim which presume that no doubt exists regarding to the legal force and effect. So next is extrajudicial demand, extrajuridical demand. The creditor writes the demand letter, demands oral. Example, Pedro entered in a contract of a loan. So ang kalahian sa juridical o extrajuridical is, ang juridical is nasay ka ng fixed period of obligation, while ang creditor is demand is kanang kuan pag sa korte siya kailangan creditor rights demand letter. So it is federally. Pag mo yung tag extrajuridical demand is that which is done, given, or affected outside the course or a regular judicial proceeding, which is not founded or unconnected with the action of a court law as an extrajuridical evidence or extrajuridical law. Example, kay ang example nire kay Pedro entered in a contract of a loan with Juan amounting 100,000 to be paid on May 31, 2019. When the said date is nag-fail si Pedro pag-pay. So it is not legally obliged si Pedro because the demand obligation is kanang wala siya not yet of that. Next is the exception of the rule. No demand, no delay. There are instances that where the demand is not necessarily considered debtor delay. The creditor may sue the right way of the debtor in case of non-fulfillment of the obligation on due date in any of the following instances. So first is when the law so provides, when the obligation so provides, when the time is of the essence, and when the demand would be useless. The contravention of the tenor of the obligation. It is a failure to perform that which is incumbent upon him, and then performance diligence of the part is liable for damages. Sa contravention is it is include there not only any illicit act which impairs the strict and faithful fulfillment of obligation, but also every kind of defective performance unless excused in proper cases or fortuitous event. Next, the contravention. In the illustrative case, Air France versus Rafael Carrasco. On March 28, 1958, Air France, through the authorized agent, Philippine Airlines, Inc., issued to Mr. Carrascoso as a first-class round-trip airline ticket from Manila to the Bangkok. Mr. Carrascoso traveled in the first class, but at Bangkok, the manager of the Air France airline forced him to vacate the first class seat that has occupying airline forced him to vacate the first class seat. White man, the manager agent. So the different kinds of damages. Actual, compensatory damages. Different kinds of obligation. In this section, we will only discuss the 4 items of the usual transaction in this business. Pure obligation. Pure obligation is one of which not subject or a period of condition is demanded at once. Example, Mario promised to give a check. So pure obligation is demanded. So pure obligation is demand one at what dapat kailangan oblig ka pagbuhat ana na butang at once time. So murag kuan wala na siya wala na siya second chance. Now, second is conditional obligation. It is one where obligation is of the subject condition. It is demandable upon the happening or non-happening of the condition. So murag sa sa conditional obligation is napakay choice whether it is the subject condition demandable upon the happening. Third is obligation with a period. So the happening or the arrival of the period gives rise an obligation to. So it is the third period is oblig na ka to do your obligation in the period na given. So joint obligation, in this obligation, there are several debtors and one or more creditors, but each debtor is only liable for his share debt and each of the creditors to his share. The credit is always be pursued for the obligation joint. Okay, Nintay. Okay na, Day. Kinsa?
Absent.
Wait lang.
So, and the law requires to prove by some writing memorandum of terms as in those covered by the statute of frauds in Article 1403 of the Civil Code. The resistance not being provable by mere oral testimony unless wholly or partly executed. These contracts are exceptional in requiring writing embodying the terms thereof for their enforceability by action in court. So kaning sa Article 1403, ang allowed ani is ang oral testimony is not allowed and required is writings like letters. So sa stage of contracts na ay na ay tulo ka stage sa contract. So first is negotiation stage or the generation stage. In this stage, the parties will bargain or negotiate as to terms and conditions. They do not agree yet on this stage, hence there is no meeting of the minds, yet it begins when the prospective contracting parties manifest their interest in the contract and it ends at the moment of agreement of the parties. So, the na stage is magsabot sa mga terms and conditions is ang magsabot ang duha ka parties and diri na stage is wala kay naagrihan both parties. Diri is nagatopic and nagadiscuss pa lang both parties about their interest sa contract and mao man ni siya with agreement sa both parties. So ang ikaduha is perfection or birth of the contract. It is here where parties agree upon the essential elements of the contract after negotiation of the terms and conditions. The parties will now decide whether to accept it or not. So diri na stage is now man na og agree and ang both parties after sa pagsabot sa terms and condition, the both parties can mag-decide if dawaton ba or dili ang nasabutan. Once na-approve na, then ang contract is ma-finalize na siya and both parties is mag-comply na o unsay nasabutan sa contract. So, ang ikatulo is consummation or termination. When the parties fulfill their obligations, the contract will end or terminated. So, Dria, example is si Alice, nakigmet sa coordinator kaya mag-inquire siya sa venue for the debut. Then ang coordinator, na-present siya quotation worth 50,000. But si Alice, nag-angyo siya for 20% discount. Pero ang coordinator is makahatag lang og 10% discount. So at this stage, wala pa yung nabuhat na contract because both parties is nag-negotiate pa sila about sa terms and conditions. And if si Alice kay mag-agree sa 10% discount and sa mga terms and conditions na nasabutan, diriya na ma-finalize ang contract. So the next topic is characteristics of the contract. So the mutuality of the contract, the validity, performance, or compliance of the contract cannot be left to the will of only one of the parties. So kaning mutuality of the contract is dili lang isa ka party ang dapat mag-comply sa contract and dapat na ay mutual agreement ang duha ka parties. So next is the autonomy of the contract. The contracting parties may establish such stipulations, clauses, terms, and conditions as they deem convenient provided they are not contrary to the law, morals, good customs, public order, or public policy. So the both parties is magbuhat og mga terms and conditions na dili siya kontra sa law or sa public policy. So the next is obligatory force. From the moment the parties perfected the contract, they are bound to the fulfillment of what has been expressly stipulated and to all the consequence which according to their nature. So, kani siya, obligatory, pag dili ma-comply ang mga terms and conditions sa contract, it will cause breach of contract. And the both parties is magsabot og unsay need buhaton. So, sa kuan lang nga kanang sa breach of contract sa kanang example ani is kanang nagtrabaho ka then nakay kontrata 3 years pero naabot na offer sa imo na mas dako siya sweldo. So syempre ikaw piliyon gyud nimo ang katong dako na sweldo. So ang mahitabuan na makigsabot ka sa company na imong gitrabahoan before or kanahawaan nimo and then magbuhat mo agreement kung unsay buhaton like sa uban kay ipabayran nila or pabalik nila ang katong na sweldo nila from the day na nag-renew ka sa imong contract sa ilaha. So next is relativity of contract. This means that the contract entered into the parties is binding only between them. Their heirs and assigns except in the case where the insights and obligations arising the contract are not transmissible by nature or by stipulation or the provision of the law. Heirs is not liable between the value of the property received from the descendant. So defective contracts and their effects. Rescissible contracts. A contract is a valid contract that has essential requisites of the contract. But because of the injury or damage caused to either of the parties therein or to third persons are considered defective and thus may be rescinded. Once the contract is cancelled, it is terminated and parties will return to their original position. So, next is voidable contracts. These are contracts that are valid until annulled. So, mandri sa example, Lag Travel Tours entered into a contract of sale, sold for a tour package amounting to 5,000 to Alex. Pero si Alex is only 15 years old. Sa then pagkabalo sa young parent, ang young parents is gusto ipa-cancel ang tour. So, pwede ba ni siya ma-annul? pwede kay ang bata na nag-enter sa contract of sale is minor. So ang ikadua diri na example is owner of the house, Pedro is the owner of the house near school. The house location is very accessible potential business location. So naadri si Mr. Cruz is a businessman interested to buy the property of Ma'am Pedro, but the latter doesn't want to sell his house. Mr. Cruz kidnapped Ma'am Pedro and threatened to kill him, to release him. He needs to sign the contract of sale, hence out of fear. Mang Pedro unwillingly signed the document. So kanina case, guys, napugo si Mang Pedro na mag-sign sa document. So pwede ba ni siya i-annul na contract? No, pwede kay siya because napirmahan lang ang document through violence, through sa nagian sa tao or no choice siya tungod sa situation. So pwede kay siya ma-annul because nag-agree lang ang isa ka party tungod sa situation. So unenforceable contract. It is a contract that cannot be enforced unless ratified due to any of following reasons. So next is void an existent contract. It is equivalent to nothing and is absolutely wanting in civil effects. It cannot be validated either by ratification or prescription. Although a void contract has any of its terms had been performed, an action to declare its inexistence to desire to allow restitution of what been given under it. What are that? Done.
So, okay. So that's all for our group discussion for today. No? Thank you kaayo sa pag-share o pag-share sa inyong mga ideas regarding sa atong topic. No, hopefully na naatay mga natun-an or nag-gain nga knowledge about sa atong topic karon week 4 to 5. That's all guys. Thank you so much.